Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take this privilege to welcome Akhil Gupta, Vice Chairman, Bharti Enterprises Limited, for an industry keynote address on telecom infrastructure in a 5G world. Over to you, Mr. Gupta.
Thank you for inviting me on this session on telecom infrastructure in a 5G world. Well, it seems that there is now a complete unanimity that India should get 5G as soon as possible. I think the issue about the spectrum price being too high definitely remains a stumbling block. And in fact, this issue to a very large extent will determine as to what kind of telecom infrastructure will be needed for 5G. As you know, the NDCP, the National Digital Communication Policy, clearly stated that the aim of the government is not to maximize revenue from telecom, but the aim is to provide broadband to everyone in the country so that each and every citizen can have access to good quality internet. Now, accordingly, if this laid down principle is followed, the spectrum price should be just nominal, but must come with very strict rollout conditions to ensure that 5G does not remain confined to just some few top cities, but is actually spread out all over the country within a determined time frame. Of course, since there will be an auction, if there's more demand, the government revenue automatically will go up. Now, if this is done, it would ensure that 5G penetrates across the length and breadth of the country. But conversely, if the spectrum price remains too high, then quite clearly with lack of funds, the operators will have to confine the rollouts to top cities only, which definitely would not be desirable. Now, I'm assuming that this time around, the government will ensure that the benefit of 5G is made available to every citizen of this country. And if that is the case, the telecom infrastructure that we have today will need to be massively augmented. For instance, we would require the following for a good 5G rollout. So it would require hundreds of thousands of small cells, the fiberization of approximately 500,000 towers from 30% to 80 to 85%. The small cells will have to be practically on fiber from day one, and there will have to be a big augmentation of interstate, intrastate, and intra-city optic fiber networks. Now, these, of course, as you can imagine, will require investments running into billions of dollars of fresh investment, which ultimately will enable India to improve its ranking in terms of telephone infrastructure from 88 out of 134, which currently is. Now, to my mind, there are four big requirements for this to happen. One, I think we need to come out very urgently on a proper policy document on use of street furniture. Now, you can imagine that with hundreds of thousands of small cells required, all of them cannot be made on private landlords' premises. These will have to majorly come from government infrastructure like lampposts, bus shelters, metros, and other government land and buildings. Now, TRAI fortunately has been already seized up of this matter and have carried out consultative process. Hopefully, this policy should come out soon. The other big requirement is the right-of-way policy, on which DOT has done a tremendous job. However, unfortunately, some of the states and some of the local authorities are still not realizing the importance of telecommunications and are not fully aligned. These will need to be done urgently. I think an action involving all the state chief secretaries and so on will be urgently required so that everybody is aligned with this mission. Number three, the scope of infrastructure providers needs to be immediately enhanced beyond just passive infrastructure. Of course, with the caveat that they cannot provide service to end customers. Now, this not only would save a lot of capex, but also massive OPEX because they would share this with all the operators. Now, this incidentally also has been already posed in NTPC 2018. The last aspect, which I think needs urgent solution, is to address the issues with the resident welfare associations all across this country. We are all aware that RWS routinely refuse establishment of telecom infrastructure on some pretext or the other, many a times on the basis of a health issue, which has been proven that none exists. So this policy which comes out will need to address RWS very clearly so that there is no scope for unnecessary negotiations and hold-ups there. I have no doubt that with the very pragmatic recent development by Government of India in coming out with a telecom package, clubbed with the fact that the tariffs have been increased by 20 to 25%, as perhaps a first step towards achieving that ARPU goal of rupees 300, which will provide sustainable financial health to the sector. I think Indian telecom industry is definitely poised for a good run henceforth. Now, I am very certain that if the conditions which I mentioned above are fulfilled, the digital infrastructure providers will be able to bring in the requisite funding, and a very large portion of this entire capex will have to come in terms of this passive infrastructure which they can provide, and the balance can be easily funded by the operators with lesser layout on spectrum that they will have to incur. I absolutely have no doubt that with the meeting of the government, regulator, and the private players in the industry, both on the infrastructure side and the services side, will combine to make the aim of providing broadband internet to everyone in the country a reality soon. My best wishes for a very successful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta, for sharing insightful content with the audience. Now we'll move on to the next session. Stay tuned.